everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 4 language arts. So you can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the admin. Then you have to select language arts from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 4 and then click on view all lessons. So there you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter describing characters, and the lesson we're going to cover are use actions and dialogues to understand characters, show character emotions and traits. Then we'll start the new chapter that is sensory details, and the lesson is identify sensory details. So let's just start with the first lesson that is describing characters. Okay, here I'm on grade 4 language. Let's just start with the lesson describing characters, and the lesson is use actions and dialogues to understand characters. Okay, story, the characters, actions, and dialogue can tell you what they are like, how they feel. Basically, the action and dialogue they tell you what they are like and how they feel. For example, Maya's face turned beet red. Did anyone see that? She shuddered. So Maya is embarrassed. You understand? From the words. You can tell because people often blush and shudder when they are embarrassed. The other example is Andrew was so scared he was shaking. Still, he held his head high and walked onto the stage. So, Andrew is brave. You can tell because he goes on stage even though he is scared. Okay, let's just start with the practice questions. Read the sentence. Carl kept jiggling his foot under the desk and glancing at the clock. Based on this sentence, how is Carl probably feeling? Disappointed or impatient? Because he is jiggling his foot under the desk, that means he is impatient, not disappointed. He is impatient. He is waiting for something impatiently. He is looking at the clock, so he is impatient. Joe pulled away from his mother's hug, his ears red. Be- Based on the sentence, how is Joe probably feeling? Embarrassed or curious? Which is the correct option? So he is because his ears are red, that means he is embarrassed. Got it? The correct option is embarrassed. You have to understand from the words what they are feeling actually. When the alarm rang, pressed snooze for the fourth morning in a row. He thought, I'll start exercising tomorrow instead. Based on these sentences, what is Corin probably like? Lazy or unfriendly? Which is the correct option? Which is the correct option? Like every day he is no will I'll start I'll start exercising tomorrow. That means he is lazy. The correct option is lazy. Tanner pressed his palms together and closed his eyes. Please, please let it be me, he said. Based on these sentences, how is Tanner probably feeling? Hopeful or silly? He is hopeful. Rosa was talking to him, but Paco got out his phone and began scrolling through his messages. Based on the sentence, what is Paco probably like? Why is so rude? That is rude. He is talking to someone and using the phone, so he is rude. Why you guys are not answering? The museum guide asked if anyone would like the chance to pet a boa constrictor. Cora was the only one who did. So, which is the correct option? Bold or caring? Which is the correct option? That means you have to pet. Yes, that would be the second option. He is caring. Got it? Oh, he's bold enough because there are so many other peoples. No one did this. Only Cora was the only one. So that means he is bold. Lucy had always wanted to see Europe, but she could never find anyone to go with her. So when she was 25, she started planning a trip her own. So is she based on the sentences? What is Lucy probably like? Independent or loyal? Which is the correct option? Which is the correct option? She is independent. Yes, she's flying on her own, so she's independent. Very good. When the lunch bell rang, Aaron approached the new girl. Would you like to sit with us? She asked. Based on these sentences, what is Aaron probably like? Friendly or shy? Which is the correct option? Yes, that means she is friendly. The correct option is friendly. Nate gripped his mother's hand so tightly that his knuckles turned white. So, based on the sentences, how is Nate probably feeling? Afraid, pleased, which is the correct option? She is afraid, not pleased. Got it? She is afraid because she holds her mother's hand tightly, so she is afraid. Eric first Eric felt his chest swell. Yes, that one's mine, he said. Based on these sentences, how is Eric probably feeling? Proud or uncertain? Which is the correct option? It is proud. He feels proud. Okay, you can complete the test by yourself later today. Let's just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is show character emotions and traits. So let's just start with the next lesson. Okay, a story usually shows what its characters are like and how they feel. When you write, try to use actions and dialogues to show these things about your character. Doing so helps bring your character to life for the reader. Basically, that is about writing. Whenever you are writing something and about something, you have to show the character like they are the real life characters. For example, Maya's face turned red and she ducked her head. Did everyone see that? Maya shuddered. So, okay, let's just start with the practice questions. You're writing a story about Kevin, who takes a dancing class. Choose the best description. Show Kevin is graceful. Okay, the options you are given is Kevin caught up with Dana after class. You left this is there, he said, handing Dana her phone. So, which is the and the second one is Kevin floated through the air as if weightless and landed softly on his toes. So, which is the correct option? Which sentence shows that he is graceful? That would be the second one because you have to select a sentence that tells you he is the graceful. But you can see in the first instance, Kevin caught up with Dana after class. You left you left this in there, he said, handing Dana her phone. So he has Dana's phone. So that means the second option is the correct one. You have to select a sentence on the one that shows he is decent. Okay, you're writing a story about Rupert who sees a high wire act at the circus. Choose the best description to show that Rupert is amazed. You have to select the sentence that tells you he is amazed. Okay, Rupert leaned forward in his seat, wide eyed, and silently mouthed the water. Wow. The second one is Rupert looked at the person sitting next to him and smiled. Give me a break, he said. So, which is the correct option? Which sentence tell you represents he is amazed? So, option number one is the sentence that shows she is amazed. Like, wow, she is amazed. So, just look at the words carefully. Okay, you're writing a story about Debbie, who is running in a race. Choose the best description to show that Debbie is tough and determined. So the options are Debbie's chest burned from breathing so hard, but she ran on towards the finish line. Debbie breathed in the spring air as she took long, even strides down the track. So which sentence shows she is tough and determined? The correct option is option number one because she is breathing so hard, but still she is running to finish line. That means she is tough and determined. Option number one is the correct option. You're writing a story about Halle, who is staying at friend's cabin. Choose the best description to show Halle's content. Halle gazed into the fireplace and pressed her feet into the thick carpet. It's so nice and warm is in here, she said. Second option is Halle zipped up her coat and pulled her gloves on. Brr, it looks ugly out there, she said with a shiver. So, which is the correct option? So, you have to select the sentence that shows Halle's content. So, it would be option number one. Okay, the next one is you're writing a story about Tarrell, who has a bee on his nose. Choose the best description to show Tarrell is calm. Tarrell's mind's raised. Please don't sting me, he thought. The second option is Darrell closed his eyes and took slow, even breaths. So, which is the correct option? Which tells which sentence shows he is calm? That would be option number one, because the first option is the correct one. Oh, Darrell closed his eyes and took slow, even breaths. That is option number two. Okay, got it. You're writing a story about Shauna, who is hiking in the mountains. Choose the best description to show Shauna is strong. You have to select the one that shows she's strong. Shauna stopped to rest again, setting her pack on the ground. This is too hard, she said. The second one is Shauna was sweating under the high load of her pack, but she continued to hike. So, which sentence tells you she is the strong? The second one, because it's too heavy, but still she continued to hike. So, second option is the correct one. You are writing a story about Sarah, who is new student. Choose the best description to show that Sarah is shy. Sarah buried her hands in her pocket and fixed her eyes on the floor. And the other option is Sarah glanced at the clock. How was it even noon yet? Sighing, she rested her head on the desk. So it tense sentence shows she is shy. One or two. Yes, option number one is the correct one. That shows she is shy. You're writing a story about Preston, who meets a new student. Choose the best description to show the Preston is mean. Preston approached the new boy and warned, "Watch out for Oliver. He throws the ball really hard." Preston looked the new boy and laughed. "This is the best shirt I've ever seen," he said. You have to select the word sentence that shows he is mean. Option number two is the correct one. "This is the best shirt I have ever seen," he said. That would be the one that shows he is mean. Okay, you can complete the test by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. Okay, let's just start with the next lesson. The next lesson is sensory details. Let's just start. Identify sensory details. Okay, writers use sensory details to make stories and scene easier for the reader to imagine. As sensory details make the reader imagine a particular sight, sound, smell, taste, or touch. Sight: John's face glowed from the light of the fire. That means that is sight. You can see his face. Sound: in the morning, Samantha awoke to the chirping of birds outside her window. So she woke up because of the sound. So that is another sensory detail. Then you have smell. I caught a whiff of freshly baked bread as I passed by the bakery. So the next one is smell. Taste: the sharply sour apple made Mary's mouth pucker. Then you have touch. Ted was uncomfortable in his scratchy wool sweater. So let's just start with the practice question. Select the sentence with a sensory detail to describe a taste. You have to select a sentence that describes the taste. Mary and Simon went sailing on Mary's boat last week. Mary was the captain, so she steered. Simon was in charge of the boat's many lines and ropes. His first duty was to undo a knotted line before they set sail. Simon used his mouth to help loosen the knots. The flavor of the bitter, oily old ropes made him sick. Next time, Simon thought he'd like to be the captain. Which sentence describes a taste? Simon used his mouth to help loosen the knots. The flavor of the bitter, oily, and old ropes almost made him sick. So, which is the correct option? Which sentence um, describes the taste? It would be the second one. The flavor of the bitter, oily, old ropes almost made him sick. That would be about very good, the taste. During lunch yesterday, Wendy passed Brett a note. When Lambert tried to grab it, Brett quickly stuck the note in his mouth and chewed. Poor Brett. The flavor of sour cardboard coated his tongue, but Wendy was happy that Brett had acted quickly. That note was private. It was just too bad Brett never had a chance to read what it said. So, which sentence described the taste? The flavor of sour cupboard coated his tongue, but Wendy was happy that Brett had acted quickly, which is the correct option. Which sentence tells about the taste? Yes, that would be the first one. The flavor of sour cardboard coated his tongue. You have to just select the sentence that tells about the taste. So it would be the first option. Okay, select the sentence with a sensory detail that describes the sound. Okay, let's just look at the options. Min was relieved to hear the car door slam out front. Mr. and Mrs. Morrison must be back. So, which is the correct option, one or two? Which sentence tells describes the sound? You have to select the sentence that tells about the sound. So, it would be the first one, car door. Hear the car door. Got it? Select the sentence with a sensory detail that describes the smell. The sour odor that filled the room answered no, answered one's question. The second option is his cat had run into a skunk. So, which is the correct option? Which sentence tells about the sound? Uh, Which is the correct option? Correct option is option number one. The sour odor that filled the room answered one's question. So, sour is the about the. Okay, the next one is select the sentence with a sensory detail that describes a sight. Okay, the options are the year that Kurt was a clown of Halloween. Okay, the options are you have to select the sentence that describe a sight. I couldn't believe that when I saw he had colored his hair with green and purple strips. The funny thing is, whatever he used in his hair did not wash out. So, which sentence is related to sight? Option 1 or 2? Sight means in which you can see something. So, which option is the correct one? The correct option is option number 1. Select the sentence with a sensory detail that describes a smell. A janitor was cleaning the hall as I walked by. I caught a whiff on his super strength cleaning soap and almost fell over. So, which is the correct option? 1 or 2? Which sentence describes the smell? The correct option is the first one. You have to select the one that describes the smell. That would be the second one. Okay, the next one is last night a big storm blew in and dumped several inches of rain in the city. Select a sentence with a sensory detail that describes a smell. Okay, the options are last night a big storm blew in that dumped several inches of rain on the city. The next one is this morning the earthy scent of worms blew in through Luther's open window. So, which is the correct option? Which sentence tells about the smell? The first one, last night a big storm blew in. The second one, this morning the earthy scent of worms blew in through Luther's open. So, you can see here the scent. So, that would be the related to smell. Ming liked getting his teeth cleaned at Dr. Christensen's office. Dr. Christensen's assistant was friendly and gentle and always explained, okay, leave it, just look at the options. You have to select a sentence with a sensory detail that describes a taste. The options are he loved the sweet flavor of the bubblegum toothpaste. His mom never let him have bubblegum at home. So, which is the correct option? 1 or 2? Which is the correct option? That would be option number 1. He loved the sweet flavor of bubblegum toothpaste. So, here you have flavor. So, it would be option 1. Select a sentence with a sensory detail that describes a taste. The options are they even gave me some and I survived. Beth's mum fed me some cricket cookies which were nutty and sweet. So, which sentence is related to taste? Which is the correct option? No one is answering. The correct option is the second one because you have to select a sentence that describes the taste, and here you can see which are nutty and sweet that is related to taste. Very good. Select the sentence with a sensory detail that describes the sound. Okay, the options are my parents and I searched up and down the street for him. The second one is it was hard to hear anything over the honking of car horns and we almost gave up hope. So, which is the correct option? Which sentence is related to sound? Option 1 or 2, which is the correct option? We have to select the one that is related to sound. So, which is the correct option? It would be the second one. It was hard to hear anything over the honking of car horn. So, it would be the second one. Select a sentence with a sensory detail that describes a sound. The baseball flew across the street and Joseph started to run after it. The second option is suddenly he heard a truck's horn blare just ahead. So, which is the correct option? Which sentence describes a sound? That is the second one. You can see she heard us. Suddenly he heard a truck's horn blare. So, second option is the correct one. Select a sentence with a sensory detail that describes a sound. At midnight, the noise of the howling coyotes woke Rudy up again. The second option is around him. The other ranch workers were asleep in their bunks. So, which sentence is related to sound? Option 1 or 2? Which is the correct option? The correct option is option number 1. You can see at the midnight the noise of howling. That is noise related to sound. So, option number 1 is the correct option. Select a sentence that with a sensory detail that describes a taste. She was wearing her best dress and she had the flavor of that morning's minty toothpaste still in her mind. The second option is before the interview began, she took deep breath to calm herself. So which option is the correct one? Which one is related to taste? Which is the correct option? Option number 1 is the correct option. She was wearing her best dress and then she had the flavor of that morning's minty toothpaste still in her mouth. So this, you have to select the sentence related to taste. So it would be the first option because she has a taste of her toothpaste in her mouth. Select a sentence with a sensory detail that describes a smell. The options are She opened her jar and took a small sniff. The second one is she then declared to the class that her jar held something that stank like rotten eggs. So, which is the correct option, 102? You have to select the sentence that is describes a smell. So, that would be the first one. She opened her jar and took a small sniff. So, that is option number one. Oh, it is two. Sorry. Okay, select a sentence with a sensory detail that describes a sight. Late in the day, though Buddy got himself into some trouble. We were all busy enjoying the view of the brilliant orange sunset. So, which is the correct option? Which sentence is related to sight? One or two? Option number two is the correct option. Select the sentence with a sensory detail that describes how something feels to touch. Mimi loved rubbing the soft pieces of velvet between her fingers. This year, she asked him if she could wear one of his play costumes. So, which is the correct option? Yes, that is option number one that describes how something feels to the touch. Select the sentence that describes how something feels to the touch. He picked up the hot cup and held it in both hands. He had been coming to this restaurant every day for years. So, which option is the correct one? So, the correct option is option number one. He picked up the hot cup and held it in both hands. That is the correct option because he feels the cup is hot. Okay, yesterday or class. Okay, select the sentence with a sensitive rel that describes a sight. When I saw the parrot's beautiful red, green, and yellow feathers, I picked parrots. Mark says I should write about how pirates always kept parrots on their ships. So, which is the correct option? That is option number one because you have to select the one that is related to sight. So, you saw the parrots. That is option number one. Very good. Select a sentence with a sensory detail to describe the sound. At each new door, he pushed a button and listened to the doorbell ring. Second option is if someone answered Miss Gilmore, talk to people about his books. So, which is the correct option? Which one is related to sound? That is option number one because he listened to the doorbell just for on the words. Select the sentence with a sensory detail that describes how something feels to the touch. Jenny dropped her book bag to the ground and shook her head. She hated carrying around all those hard, heavy books every day. So, which is the correct option? It would be the second one because it is about the touch and the books are heavy. Okay, you can complete the test by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 4 language arts, and we have started with the chapter describing characters. The lessons we did are use actions and dialogues to understand characters, show character emotions and traits, and then we've started the chapter sensory details, and we've covered the lesson identify sensory details. So please make sure before the next session you have to complete all the test questions for the lessons we did today. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday, Friday, 5 to 9. So that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye everyone.